All right, then 80% win rate strategy. Let's just get straight into it. And I'll discuss the strategy a bit more detail in my private Discord down below in the description. But as always, like and subscribe, leave a comment. I'm just going to go over some examples of this strategy that I can see over the past few days, give you an idea of what the strategy is, and then we'll just go from there. So basically, very, very simple. I'm just looking for this: accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. This is the signature and price I'm looking for. Obviously, it's not always as clean as that, but I think I've actually seen one right here that happened about a few hours ago on the charts. You can see we've got this pretty clear accumulation phase, got this massive candle to the downside, and then we actually come back up to the 50% area of that, come down and then actually manipulate, sweep out the low again. So you've got your accumulation here, you've got your manipulation, and then you've got an extra manipulation leg, which is unusually an extra confluence. And you can see here, is this got a 2 minute? It's 2 minute, yeah, this 2 minute, or maybe a 3 minute. Yeah, this 3 minute would have been the one, wouldn't it? You can see here, lovely fair value gap. This is what we're looking for: accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and you've also got your fair value gap that you can inverse back to the upside and then take a trade from, heading back up. This is what we're looking for, and you can see pretty much perfect example: accumulation, manipulation. We get the manipulation leg to sweep out the low again before reversing. You can see here, this is a really, really nice trade. We didn't actually get the close here, which is annoying. On this 3 minute, maybe there was a 5 minute. No, there was no 5 minutes. So it would have been this 1 minute, wouldn't it? You can see we didn't get any clean kind of gaps there. There's this massive fair value gap on the 1 minute here. That would have obviously worked out by the looks of things. You can see fair value gap. We obviously got this manipulation down and V-shaping back up. Not much volume because we're in Asia session, I think. Probably could have taken this 2 minute in reality, because you would have had a bit of a nicer V-shape and also a much nicer risk to reward ratio. You could have taken this here, obviously, targeting a 1-for-1 for my model. We would have come up, hit the 1-for-1. Pretty much to a tick there, actually. Came back down, very close to being break-evened. Coming back up here. I would have probably had a runner up to this high, which we actually never hit, amazingly. Usually I have a runner up to the halfway point of the V shape and then the high. So you can see here, right now this would have still bidded the trade actually, if I'd have held a runner. But basically the idea of my strategy is I'll target a 1-for-1. Stop loss is a manual close back below this fair value gap, targeting a 1-for-1, which would have hit here. I'll take half my position off at 1-for-1, and then I'll go to break even and hold the runners for the rest. The runners here, as you can see, would have very nearly got stopped out here at break even. Then came up, hit my second take profit. Final take profit did not get hit. I think if I saw this come up, come down, come up, come down, and then come up again into this area, I probably would have just sold in this area here. So this overall would have been about a 1-to-2, probably a 1.5 to 1 R when you think I'll take half off at 1-to-1 as well. So overall, this would have been a decent trade. These kinds of trades happen all the time, by the way. Yesterday's New York Open was absolutely horrible. Nothing to really take in there. Let's take a look at the 1 minute and see if there's any trades here that I would have taken. There was a potential 1 minute here that you could have taken. Monday Open wasn't ideal either, to be honest. You can see we did get this accumulation, manipulation, and distribution here, but it was very, very choppy price action. You can see there was this 1 minute fair value gap here. You could have potentially entered on this and gone break even at the high, but you can see it just would have been a break even trade. Not too much in terms of clean trades over the past few days, to be honest. But there's always potential in the markets for these kinds of plays. You can see here we've got a nice bit of accumulation, manipulation below this low. Pretty obvious series of fair value gaps here that you could have traded off of. Enter on the close above. Target a 1-for-1. 1-for-1 gets hit on this one, scale half off, and then break even on the rest. That would have been break even, scale half and break even trade, but totally fine. You can see just the sheer potential of this trading strategy is pretty crazy, to be honest. Really, really big drop to the downside here. We did potentially have a trade down here, I think. If I can remember, I think I'm actually thinking of Friday, where we just continuously went to the downside and then eventually got a trade. But you can see if you just look across all of this, you can see this trades constantly. These V shapes. I mean, if I just zoom out on the chart, you can see how many times to these V shapes for NQ, reverse back to the upside. And basically it's just all about catching that V shape as it actually happens. And you can generally do that with this strategy in terms of the fair value gaps. Pretty good trade here, I think. Was it here? Just trying to remember all the trades that I took recently because there's been so many good ones, to be honest. You can see there's a pretty clear fair value gap here. You can see we've got a nice bit of accumulation, but you've got the double manipulation here. Come down, finally sweep a big level of liquidity to the left here. Massive area of liquidity being swept. Looking for that entry. Finally getting a really good, nice bullish close above this level here. Fair value gap inverted. Targeting a 1-for-1. 1-for-1 comes up and gets hit. The rest of it's break even. I'll take my next profit probably at this high. Final TP probably at this high. You can see this would have gone up and hit another 2-to-1 RR there. Really, really nice. Overall, you can see just how many of these happen literally all the time. Generally speaking, you want to take the ones that are pretty obvious. Big obvious fair value gaps always tend to work better than little non-obvious ones. You can see this one. I think there was a trade at the end of this one here. I think it was a 5-minute. Let me circle this so that I can find it quickly. Because for some reason, TradingView is a bit weird when it comes to when you change between time frames. You can see this was, I think this was the trade here. Really big, obvious fair value gap. Good risk to reward. We've come down, swept a very key area of liquidity. Look at all this liquidity that we've swept out here. All of this liquidity is swept out and gone. All the way down to this key level. We've got about a 50% retrace of this local move for a bounce, which is also a really nice confluence, a Fibonacci level. Obvious fair value gap. Fairly good V shape back to the upside. I think the 15-minute was actually cleaner on this one. You could have taken this 15-minute here or the 5-minute. I think I entered half my position on the 5-minute, half on the 15. But you can see the 15-minute here. Very clear, obvious. Sweep of liquidity. V shape back to the upside. Closing above. Stop loss. Let's just make sure it's in the right place. Stop loss are closed below. Targeting a 1-for-1. If my magnet doesn't want to scupper my chances of doing that. You can see this one took a little while to play out, about an hour. And then we came up, hit the 1-for-1. And then I would have had runners. Halfway up my V shape as usual, this would have got hit. And then because we were changing over into a new day here, I actually closed the rest of my position. So I closed half at 1-to-1 and half at 1-to-4. 4-to-1, so it would have been around a 1-to-2, 1-to-3 risk reward overall. Absolutely incredible strategy. You can see just how many winners there are for this. If you do want more information and more details about exactly how the strategy works and all of the rules that I use, you can get them in the private Discord down in the description below. There's signals and alerts in there as well if you do want to get alerted for these kinds of trades that I'm taking every single day on NQ and also on gold. Please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll stop waffling at you and let you go down in there and get involved. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.